Hi there, this is David and welcome to my review of another Crusade, being released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Super Mario RPG was one of my favorite games all throughout my entire high school years, so whenever I saw this game inspired by it, I just knew that I had to try it. But how does it all pan out? Is it as good as its classic? Is it better? Or is it worse? Come find out. Since, as we all know, I do love Super Mario RPG and it is my favorite RPG in the whole Mario franchise, I really wanted to check this out and see how it compares to its illustrious predecessor. And while Mario RPG was obviously set in the Mushroom Kingdom and starring the titular plumber, Another Crusade takes place in a more medieval fairy tale land, where all of your characters and NPCs and enemies kind of resemble puppets, straight out of Pinocchio. You play as Ray the Dragon Slayer, who literally just a week prior got done defeating the Dragon King, only for now meteorites to begin falling down upon the land, and monsters kinda going crazy. And that's really honestly all you're going to be getting for the story here. But this is just a demo, and from what I've seen, it does seem to be setting itself up for much more of a grandiose tale. There are only two areas to explore here. There's the forest and the town, each complete with their own enemies, treasures, and bosses. And you are thrust straight into the action, and right from the get-go, I do hope and pray that you are good at timed attacks, because if you're not, you're gonna die with the quickness. Truth be told, I died twice in this demo, but both times to bosses, and we are going to get to that in a minute, but first, let's go over the whole gameplay. All the enemies are encountered on the field, and you can preemptively strike them in order to deal damage to them before combat takes place. Then, in battle, it's turn-based, and you just whack each other upside the head, but you use timed attacks to increase your damage, as well as timed blocks to reduce or even completely nullify damage. Just as in Mario RPG, your various skills have button presses too. From the Thunder skill forcing you to press the X button, to the Healing skill which holds the X button, or the Water skill which makes you rotate the analog stick. All of that can get pretty involved. Also, for every 3 normal attacks that you do, you'll gain back 1 SP point, and each special skill costs 1 SP, so you'll never really run out, and you're always slowly regenerating those points. For anybody who's watched my channel for any length of time, you probably already know this, but let me say it again. I am terrible at anything at all involving timing. And before I made it to the first healing point, I was already out of both of the regular potions that they gave you and the great potion that they gave you too. I was barely scraping by. But once I did get to the healing spring, I used it as a base to kind of grind for a little bit. But I never really felt more powerful. It wasn't until after I died to the first boss that I realized that every time that you gain a level, you're also able to gain a bonus experience point to put into your stats, just like in Mario RPG. However, the game never tells you this. There's not even an NPC who mentions this. You have tons of NPCs all over the place blabbing about really stupid, dumb shit, but they don't tell you something incredibly important like that? Anyway, just like in Mario RPG, certain levels will give you certain bonuses and certain stats. Like you might get more HP on one level, or more attack power on another level, but it's still up to you where to put those points at the end of the day, and it's up to you if you want to take advantage of the level bonuses. Also, scattered throughout the maps are crystals, which work as permanent stat increases, and thankfully, you can see how many crystals and how many treasures there are in each zone on the world map screen. So you'd really better find all those crystals if you just want a snowball's chance in hell to survive here, because this game is hard. I don't know what it is about Dark Souls difficulty infesting every single frickin' game nowadays, but it just needs to go away! After my grinding session at the spring, I made it over to the first boss, who quickly slaughtered me. Then I spent a good 10 or so minutes grinding up to the next level, and then finally, I was able to take down that boss. So I made it to the next area, which was a town under attack by demons, and I go in there, like the dutiful little puppet that I am, and I beat up the demons and I save the townsfolk, and I think, okay, I should be able to get through this place pretty easily, seeing as I just grinded so much. But that wasn't the case. Even there, I still kinda had to stay over by the save point, fight a demon, go back and heal, fight another demon, go back and heal, fight another demon, go back and heal. The balance shouldn't be this off and skewed in just the first 2 areas. the difficulty is just completely unforgiving, especially once you get to the second boss. Because here your little mage friend Nero joins you, and every 2 turns the boss becomes invulnerable, and you have to use Nero's water spell to make him vulnerable to attacks again. But at the same time as this, the boss is attacking twice per turn to both of you, and just slaughtering you. And to make matters worse, immediately before this boss fight, you get a brand new axe, which you think might help you, but it has completely different timing to the sword that you've been practicing with the entire time. And, to make matters worse, you can't grind up Nero either. So after my inevitable death, I had to leave the town, go back in the forest, do even more grinding to be able to finally defeat the boss. So, let me get on my soapbox here for a minute. I'm not saying to make the game like baby easy or anything, but I am going to say this. A demo isn't for grinding. A demo should just be here to get a taste of what the game is about, to introduce you to the characters and the world, and then you can get a taste of the battle system. And developers put out demos for a reason. They want feedback. So here's my feedback. Balance your game. A demo should not be 50% grinding. I am not even kidding here. 50% of my time on this demo was me just grinding because the balance is completely off. Especially because you can't beat the second boss without your mage character who you can't grind up. And even after all my grinding, I couldn't afford an ether for his mandatory water spells that he has to use every single 2 frickin' rounds, or a revival item just in case he dies. I only had 1 of each of those that I found in treasure chests, but still, you would think that they would have at least play tested the balance of this thing. Not everybody is a timed attack master or the Flash, getting in double hits or perfect blocks every single frickin' round. Some of us, God forbid, are actually human and might take full damage from these hits constantly. And I guess if you just happen to be a lowly, flawed human like me, then this game isn't for you. It's only for robots. Because God forbid you actually add in any sort of balance or difficulty selector or anything. At the end of the day, I really wanted to like this. I wanted to have a good time with this, and I wanted to give it a positive review. But there are large zones here with no mini-maps, this weird blurry effect on the hero whenever he runs, and an absolute complete lack of any sort of balancing whatsoever. I cannot, in good faith, give this a good review. I certainly do hope that they get normal human beings in there who don't have lightning fast reflexes to actually balance their final product, because as it stands now, it is unplayable to me. And that is a crying shame. So that's it for my review of another Crusade. What do you think about the game? Let's get a discussion going on here, and let's all talk and chat about it, because I would love to hear what you have to say. And if you like what I do on the channel, please head on over to the Patreon and sign up for early access to my videos and behind-the-scenes photographs. A link to it is over in the video description. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.